celebrate again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
Well, I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your name. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips. Let me do your hair. What's happening, blacks? How you guys doing out there? Y'all know who it is, right? If y'all don't, y'all will by the end of this podcast because it's going down. It's me, your homegirl, Adosha Wright, aka Key Lolo, and then right over there, y'all. Let me get my finger right there. There she is. The woman of the street naming hour, Cheryl Morrow, the daughter of the illustrious late great Dr. Willie Morrow. We are here 175. Can you guys believe that? 175 episodes and right here on The Dumbest. And we do mean the dumbest shit that people say about black hair. And tonight you just can't get no more dumb if you don't know anything about barbers beyond fades and cuts and lineups and chalk lines, and barbers do so much more. And I'm just going to go ahead on before we bring these barbers in a few minutes. I was guilty. I was just so guilty of just underappreciating barbers. You know how you get in trouble and your parents are like, but I'm wiser now. Y'all remember Shirley Murdoch? I'm wiser now without you. Y'all too young to know about Shirley Murdoch.
They don't know.
That girl is good. That girl is good. If you know about Shirley Murdoch, drop an SM in the chat. Everybody, we are firing on all cylinders. So welcome to the fam on Facebook. What up, Facebook? How you doing out there? LinkedIn, what's up with the bougie squad? LinkedIn be like,
LinkedIn's bougie. Yeah.
Hello, LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn. How you guys doing? LinkedIn has been showing us some love, so thank you so much. LinkedIn, we like a little bougie love. The professional love. We like that. It's kind of good. We got, YouTube just be romp stomping. What's up? What's up, YouTube? Be in them streets, just getting it in. So thank you so much, everybody on YouTube. And then, of course, our IG family. We really, really, really appreciate you guys' support. We tried to rock it out on Twitch, but Twitch kept kicking us off. I think we used too much profanity. Twitch was like, y'all gone somewhere, especially you, Kilo. You curse too much. What's happening, National BB Hutchison? I see you, Razor Sharp Podcast. Oh, shoot us, lucky, quick. What's up? When you get a podcast to rock on your podcast, you got to be doing something. So what's up, Razor Sharp Podcast? I hope your name really fits, your skills fits that name, because tonight we have some razor sharp barbers in the chat. So it's about to go down. But sure, before we get ready to bring in, we have a dynamic panel of top tier barbers in the industry who's going to talk about barbershop. This barbershop talk tonight. Now, y'all, if y'all don't know barbershop talk, I feel sorry for y'all because it ain't like the salon. Let me just say that. So if you got your children, y'all going to put the kids to bed now. Give them some Kool-Aid. Go to get the kids some Kool-Aid, okay? And so it's all about barbershop talk. And the unsung of the unsung heroes. We're going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. But before we bring them in, sure, what you got rocking out in your neck of the woods?
I was just trying to get ready to represent the industry and just show how powerful and magical.
Let me show y'all what we got while she's talking. This is what we got. Thursday, the official Willie Morrow Way street naming ceremony. That's some breaking news. We're going to be live at 3:00 on our time and then 12:00 on Cheryl's. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm going to have my little, my little stand. We're going to be live. Y'all going to be like, we can't move your elbow out the way. So don't hold it against us if everything don't go right, because I'm going to be from my phone. So that's what's going to be happening. How's the what they call that, the excitement. Is it building? Is it looming in the house and everybody's
It's
all excited?
building, and of course my nieces said, "We're not going to school, so don't even ask."
Okay, so don't even ask. All right, okay, don't even ask. What's up, fam? My boss is in the chat. What's up, boss? I called my boss the other night to tell my boss how much I love her. She's like, "Why did you call me the boss?" That's how you know you're the boss. When you say something like that, that's the boss right there. She let you know. I want to know why. We talked about that a little bit. You know, we talked about people don't like bosses and all that. I know the term don't sit well people, but I love my boss. I'm just saying. What's up, Rochelle Chappelle? How you doing?
What's up, Rochelle?
You got look at Sandra. She went on ahead and beat me to the chat. Sandra, I was finna hit it. Y'all better drop them L's in the chat, as my boss will not be doing direct deposit on my paycheck. So please drop the L's because I need my paycheck. I'm about to go to Washington, Madam Fair. Oh, y'all coming through. Y'all come, these barbers is like, oh, this podcast, we got over 400,000 views right here. This is an authentic build. We got Waverly Willis, America's favorite barber. We got YahTay, the female barber. We got Debrina, the sexy, she got the coldest smile. I'm glad I'm getting my teeth fixed, okay? So we got Miss Debrina's coming through. And of course, we got the ColeCutzBrand. Hey, I was on his page stalking him like, oh, he famous. And
that brother is really committed.
Hey, if y'all ain't following this guy, hey, if y'all want to just hop off right quick, I ain't gonna get mad. If y'all want to do it this one time, normally I don't appreciate y'all doing that while we live. I really don't. But if y'all just want to do it this time, go over to ColeCutzBrand, okay? On Instagram. I'm sure you're on all the other ones, but I found him on Instagram, you know, because I be scouring Instagram, okay? And I found him and I inboxed him like, can I screenshot some of your stuff? He's like, girl, ain't nobody got time. Go on and screenshot that stuff. I said, well, since you're so nice, since you're being nice, and I made sure my hair was combed. Rochelle, I did. I made sure my hair was combed in case he, Rochelle. You know what I'm saying? I had to do that, Madam Flair, because you never know. These guys want to make sure, you know, we on the real. I got my BFF, Rashida, is representing, you know, all the way from ATL. We got our virtual co-host, Sandra. I hope you ready, because we like Nelly. It's getting hot in here. We talking about clipper hot. Have y'all ever had some hot clippers on y'all necks?
Or in your hand?
Ooh. It's going to be buzzing. All right. Okay. So we got a couple more minutes. Hold on. Just some shameless plugs of what we got going down. Don't forget, we're talking about Tap Black and giving back. Yes. Last time, you guys, and thank you guys, the NHBC, that's right, the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition Incorporated appreciates the donation. So thank you guys. But now we're asking you guys to help a sister, you know, the library and at the Gay and Joel Skills Academy. So you can screenshot that and tap black and give back no certain amount, and all of the proceeds are going to the right library of the Gay and Joral Skills Academy. So I have Cash App and I have Zelle. Okay, so anything. So just a little picture right quick of the library in case y'all think she ain't got no library. I do have a library. Look at this shirt. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't be liking them self-portraits because they just making you look like you are like, you know how you go to the hospital and them dead people be, I don't really like that look, you know. I'm like, take that down. But it's a library. I guess you gotta have a self-portrait. Anywho, so we are collecting some donations. So when we go back, we need some new computers and some more books. So right. People are donating. So thank you guys in advance. Now, this ain't no big library, but you know, it does what it's supposed to do. All right. And the whole community uses that library. I'm here to tell you, they really do use the library. All right. And so that's Fatu saying gay. And then also, in case y'all didn't know, we got a classroom over there. That's right, the Lagosha, right, Cosmetology Wall of Honor. So they gave a little classroom to a sister, but we had to recognize some people. And in case y'all don't know, that's Fatu with the red head wrap on. And then we have some George Washington Carver, Key Lolo, Annie Turbo Malone. That's the teacher. of Madam C.J. Walker, in case y'all didn't know. And then, of course, Dr. Willie Morrow, and then my shero, Olive Benson. So we doing some things, all right? We just not catching up in the hairstyling industry. But the barbers, they got a whole other story to tell. A whole nother story. So I want y'all to, we're going to bring each barber in one by one, and we're going to have them, tell a little bit about themselves as we kind of go through. Now, we have 5 barbers. Now, Solomon is going to be joining us a little bit later once he gets situated. But we have some wonderful barbers who are going to be coming through in a minute. But I did, went on ahead and, somebody donated some. What's Sam? I just love y'all. I just love y'all so much. They love me. Okay, they really like me. And we're going to make sure we keep a list of all of the donors. Okay, so when we put together our book, you guys are going to see where your money is actually going. Okay. But I did make a quick little reel to kind of get this conversation going. Again, we are 175 episodes in, and it's Barbershop Talk Barbers, the unsung of the unsung heroes in the industry. We're talking about Barbershop Talk. So let me play my little clip so we can get ready to bring the barbers in. And as always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and share if you can. If you could share this, if you know a barber who wants to get on this conversation, by all means, invite them into the chat. But let me play my little unsung clip, and we're going to get ready to bring in the top tier barbers. All right, here we go. Sure, y'all get ready now. Y'all gonna like this one. I already sent it to Waverly, so Waverly put his stamp on it. Okay, here we go.
Uncompromised, unrecognized, unparalleled, unsung.
Pierre Toussaint, Alonzo Herndon, Dr. Willie Morrow, Lillian Beckley Wheeler.
Uncompromised, unrecognized, unparalleled, unsung.
They say imitation. That's not copycatting. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Y'all know I ain't no dang on what you call those things, graphic designers. So I use my little Canva app. Y'all better get some. Y'all better get these apps out here. So let's get ready. Are you guys ready? Let's get ready to bring in the barbers. Let me get my hand claps going on. I'm just gonna click them in alphabetical order. I don't have a drum roll sound. We tried to get that, Cheryl, but I can't seem to find a drum roll. A free. If you could get me a free drum roll sound. In the meantime, hey, this chat on fire. These barbers better get ready because this chat is ready for y'all. So let me bring them in alphabetical order. Oh, we got to bring it. Oh, the cute guy always get to come first. ABC. I got to do my ABCs to make sure I don't mess up, okay? So I'm going by their first names, okay, in alphabetical order. So if y'all could go ahead and put my hand clap on, okay? Let's get ready to bring in, I'm going to make sure his name right, okay? It's Brashawn. I hope I'm saying he going to get me together. Brashawn, ColeCutzBrand, the brand, okay? Here we go. Here it is. Just put your hands together. This brother's fine, ladies. Y'all just sit still, sit tight. Here we go. Here we come in.
How y'all doing?
Be still, my heart. Look at it, y'all. Look at that.
Never mind her.
All right. Next up, let's see in alphabetical order. Okay, ABC. We got Debrina representing San Diego. Come on, Debrina, with them beautiful teeth. There she is. Oh, she coming through. Don't worry. She got little technical difficulties, but she's going. There she is. What's up, Debrina? How you doing?
Debrina, you getting it together?
She get it together. Hold on. Y'all know how it is. Okay. All right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. All right. Now we got my homeboy, the boss, America's favorite barber, Waverly Willis, representing Cleveland, is in the house. Y'all better put your hands together for this.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Look, Waverly fine too now, y'all. Look, Waverly. Little glasses on, go away with your little sexy. Oh, I'm sorry. Your wife already know. Your wife know you say. She's like, go on compliment my husband. He got a beautiful wife too. All right. Okay. We saving the best for last.
Oh, man. Bring
Oh,
on
ladies
in.
first. Ladies first. Come on, y'all. Ladies first. Ladies first. That's right. YahTay, the female barber, representing.
Greetings, everyone.
This
Greetings.
I feel like we got a lot of Grammys. All right, like, give me the envelope, please. First of all, let me take down this little money thing because this little donation. I'm sorry, y'all gonna have to donate at the end because I want to see all this ColeCutzBrand. Okay, let me just move this out the way right quick. All right, we're gonna bring that little QR code thing up, but for now, it's got to go. Okay, let me just go ahead on the. I know y'all like. I want to see what he look like. Okay, let's say. All right. Okay, did I remove it? Oh no, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get it on. Delete. Okay. All right, there it is. Okay. All right, there we go. Wow, look at all these comments. Sure, this is probably the most comments we've ever had in history. I'm talking about with over 400. Actually, sure, we up to like 400 and 500,000. We're getting up there. Okay. So we thank you guys so very much. And for those of you who just kind of walked in, what's up, Pee Wee Sickle Cell Warrior? Okay, that's so cute. I like your Pee Wee. Okay. So we got Tubi in the house. What's up, Lexi? How you doing? All right, we got both of our virtual co-hosts, Week A and Sandra E, is in the chat. We appreciate you guys. They help monitor and make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up button. So what I'm going to do in alphabetical order is if you guys could just share a little bit of who you are. And, after we're done, we're going to keep it going. Also, I just want to note again that Darrell Solomon is going to be joining us probably in a little bit, but he has to get off from work, but he will be with us. And Debrina is having a little technical difficulties, but she'll be in. Okay. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Let's see if we got her. All right. Okay. She's still kind of struggling there. Okay. All right. Let me put her, but take her back out. Well, she'll pop in, right? Sure. If it comes through.
If she comes through, she'll pop in.
Okay. There she goes. All right. She pops through. Okay. All right. Okay. So, Cole the Barber. I'm thinking ColeCutzBrand. Okay. Tell us a little bit of who you are, and thanks for letting me slide in your DM professionally, ladies. I was professional. I did not. Kilolos didn't. Ladosha
He was quite the gentleman.
Yes, he was. So tell us who you are and everything. Let's get to know a little bit more about you and your brand, by the way.
My name is Roderick Cole.
My name is Sabrina Glasterman. They call me D the Master Barber. Can you hear me?
No, it's not your turn yet, but hold on. We're going to get to you in a minute, okay? Okay, you're fine. You are perfectly fine. Whoops.
Nope,
okay, she's gonna get it together. It's just, you know how it is. It's technology. All right. Okay, here. Let's take it back all over. I didn't say your name, Brashawn. I don't know where I get that from. You know, black people.
Roderick.
Yeah. Okay.
Roderick.
Take it back. Take it from the top.
So my name is Roderick Cole. Cole is my last name, and I go by ColeCutzBrand on most of these outlets, on all of them. In fact, that's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all of that. I'm a barber, 14-year barber from Houston, Texas. I'm an author, public speaker, educator, and now I'm the owner of the Fade from Black Barber Expo, and the visionary behind it as well. I'm known for a lot of my unapologetic content online. Of course, I'm known for pushing black and pushing real hard for the black barbers and digging into black history as well. And I just educate barbers mostly on personal development that bleed over into professional development as well. I've grown over 100,000 followers on Instagram with my education, millions of views, of course, sold over 800 ebooks. So I really just just push the culture forward as far as barbering. I'm also still a student to the game as well. And I've been known to go viral for a lot of the things I say that hold barbers accountable and help them grow personally so they could bleed over to their professional development. But yeah, and they say I'm an influencer, but I don't like that title. I'm just a guy getting the message, the right messages across and putting it in front of you.
All right. With that, you deserve a standing ovation. Because let me tell you, that is no small feat. And I see you got the hot button over there. Because I ain't gonna lie, Roderick. I'm scared to be that controversial. I am. I tried to. They bit me. I said, ooh. I tried to get on one of them, African hair guy. They came after me like some big bayhives. And I said, I don't think I'm cut out for that. So my heart, you go. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me bring D back in. Let's see if Debrina can get some, if she got it going. Oh, no, not yet. Let me give her a couple of seconds. Okay. And see if her, she might have just not some good, there she is. Okay. Debrina, can you hear us?
I can hear you. We have problems in Southeast with the Wi-Fi a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, share with us who you are. There you go. Share with us who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff.
Oh, my name is Brashawn. I'm the founder of Create Universal. And they call me D the Man.
Okay.
Yeah, have her pull out.
Okay, so your mic, let me just take her back out. We'll tell her your reception, and you're kind of, what's that word? You're kind of dashing in and dashing out. So we're going to give you a few minutes to see if you can get the bars on your thing, on your device. Okay, so we'll bring you back in. We'll try it again. In the meantime, YahTay, the barber stylist, share with us who you are and all that good stuff. Let's get to know a little bit more about you and your wonderful work.
Greetings, everyone. First, I want to say thank you all for having this platform and making it available for us to share our voices. Cole, I respect you. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Mr. Waverly, I actually just found out about you. Once again, congratulations on your scholarship. That's good. That's good. With that, my name is YahTay Keaton. I am a barber stylist out of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran and an award-winning author. I also run a podcast called Female Barber Talk with YahTay that I just started this year. But nonetheless, I would say I'm coming back into it. I grew up in the industry. My mom was a licensed stylist. However, I didn't go into it right away. I had a life-changing event that happened that put me back on course, and here I am. So I consider myself fairly new in the industry, yet I'm a seasoned professional. I've been in a lot of different careers, so I bring all of that to what I do. I've also worked professionally with youth. More specifically, I'm a trained paraprofessional to work with special needs children. So I bring that to what I do in terms of working with the children and communicating with them. I recently got trained as a sensory safe provider. So I'm looking to move that along so we can have a space where children who have sensory and neurodivergent challenges, where we can get other barbers and stylists trained to be able to take care of them and support them. So that's pretty much it. I'm a student of the game.
That is the whip, girl. What you talking about, Shaniqua? I'm sorry, YahTay. Girl, that ain't no small feat. All right. Yeah. Okay. And now let's get ready for the boss, Mr. Waverly Willis. Waverly, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are as America's favorite barber. Okay, let's go. Take it away, Waverly.
Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? My name is Waverly Willis. I affectionately call myself America's favorite barber. I got a bunch of young barbers in my DMs all the time saying, how the hell you calling yourself America's favorite barber? We don't never see you cutting hair. Well, when I was on the Nick Cannon show for the things that I do within my barbershop, at the time I was calling myself Cleveland's favorite barber. And he said, nah, bro, you got to think bigger than that because your cause, your ministry is bigger than that. He said, truly, you the world's favorite barber. You're America's favorite barber. So I took that to heart. I prayed on it. And, you know, when somebody worth $40 million tell you to suggest something, I took that and I started dreaming bigger. YahTay, I commend you for finding a good niche that's needed in this barber industry. LaDosha, Kilolo, you know you're my home girl. Cheryl Morrow, I respect everything that you guys are doing for this industry. And finally, ColeCutzBrand, man. I don't follow a lot of barbers on Instagram or no social media because I already know how to cut hair, and it's a popularity contest. So for me to be considered to be on this panel with you is truly an honor because I don't pay a lot of attention. It's a bunch of going back and forth and silly stuff. So your content is relative to me, a mature barber, not just a barber. I'm a businessman, and so the advice that you give, it can transcend industries if people would just really listen. And I also want to commend you for holding a mirror up to the barber industry and saying and holding us accountable. So I'm with you 100%, man. And if there's anything that I can do to help back your cause or whatever, please call on me. So I appreciate your work. I appreciate everybody's work. So I appreciate being on here.
All right, let's try to I think Debrina is still having she tried another device, but when she gets it together, we are just going to bring her back in. I can see right now we are cousins and we all know how to go with the flow, and we're not intimidated by some technical difficulties. So we'll just, bring her in. And yes, I will get everyone's social media to follow them. I will make sure I do that. That's Miss R. Clark. And thank you so much for that. So we appreciate you. So now, what I want to do is kind of we just go what they say, go hard or go home. So I think Roderick is giving me the permission. Just go on, Key Lolo. Just let it rip, or rip the cut. I know I'm old school up in here. Y'all may not know about the skinny rip the cut.
Rip the cut. They too young
know about that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the young people like what?
They too young for that.
They too young. Okay, right. Y'all might be too young, but everybody know I'm old school. Ain't no secret to that. So what I want to do, I want to start off with, you talked about, number one, you got the hot button going on. And as Waverly said, you like to hold the mirror up, to the industry. Now, when we talk about these topics, these points, of course, we want you guys to, feel free to chime in and make this a robust conversation. Our family in the chat, if you have questions for them, make sure you drop those in the chat, and I will make sure that I get those, get their social media handles up. But I don't want to put them because it'll take their faces off, but I will make sure we get them on there so you guys can follow them on social media. So with that being said, Roderick, as you hold the mirror up to the industry now, this is something Cheryl and I talked to another colleague, right, Cheryl? Mm-hmm. And the colleague, we talked about the importance of history. We got to start there, and we're just going to move it forward. And the person said to Cheryl that they don't really care nothing about history. Barbers, that ain't what is that going to do for a barber? You and Waverly have some years in the industry. And of course, Cheryl is going to come in and give her take on why this particular podcast is important. But we just want to start with you on this whole thing of the history of barbering and, of course, African-American barbers. Why is that, unsung? And for you, why do you think it's important? And then to the person who said, I don't care what y'all say, I'm a new barber. And, they were very poignant with Cheryl and I. We don't care about no history. Okay. So that part. So let's go hard with that right there. Let's set the tone, because we are going to be recognizing, the celebration for Dr. Willie Morrow, which is, of course, a moment in history. But, and I know that person doesn't speak for all the barbers, but go ahead, take it away.
Well, I want to say to the person that says, why does the history matter? any type, if you look at the history of barbering, first of all, we moved like a fraternity in the beginning, right? Black barbers at that, because we was primarily the barbers because it was considered servant work, right? We moved like a fraternity, okay? If you join any fraternity, you a Mason, you are Alpha, you whatever it may be, you got to know your history first, and you got to repeat your history verbatim at some point as well, right?
Waverly, a Kappa, is that true, Waverly?
That's absolutely true.
If you're gonna come into this barber industry, you need to know your history. And I don't care what race you are. If you're gonna be a barber, you need to know your history. And ironically, your barbering history is Black at the end of the day, starting with the African slaves, right? If you just,
I gotta drop the bomb on that show. Now that's controversial. Now you're gonna hurt some people's feelings with that, especially in today's climate.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, history is history, right? History is unapologetic because it's the facts. It ain't just me saying that because I'm Black. That's the history. So if you're gonna be a new barber in this game, how you gonna know how to move forward? How you gonna know what the mission is? How you gonna know what your duty as a barber is if you don't know the history? You could come in this game, you can look at the likes and followers, all that instant gratification, and try to be an online influencer and all that, and think that's what being a barber is. That's not what being a barber is. Actually, some of the most successful barbers I know don't even touch social media. You know why? They're involved with the people because they know what being a barber really is. They're involved with the community because they know what being a barber really is. But the newer barbers are broken off from the mission, and it hurts the game in a way, because if you charging, they come in trying to charge these certain type of prices, you don't even meet the standard of a barber to even be charging people these type of prices, right? But it's important that you know your history so you can know what your mission is, and you'll know that it's not just about the money, right? This is about community, and when it comes to Black, it's about pushing the culture forward, even if that means getting involved with politics, getting involved with some organizations and groups. It's a big duty. It's a high responsibility, right? A big responsibility to be a barber, right? And if some of them knew that, they probably wouldn't want to be a barber, but that's probably why they say, oh, you don't need to know our history. You mean you don't want the responsibility of a real barber, because once you know, you're going to have to move forward in a different kind of way. Quit.
I had to drop the bomb on that. All right, now what I want, I gotta drop the bomb on that one. Chat then went up like, okay, he hit him. Now, Waverly, you heard what the man said. YahTay, you heard what he said. Now, you know, a lot of people may interpret that as gatekeeping. When he talks about the fraternal order, and you got to move the culture forward, and you got to know your past, and you got to understand it's bigger than cutting. And they're like, but that ain't what I'm doing. So it's this historical reference, as he sent it, that sets the tone, like it springboards that barber to go forward. That could be considered gatekeeping. And then after you say something, and YahTay, then we're going to bring Debrina back in. I see she's in the back, and we're going to try it again. And then sure, we're going to have you, take that forward. So Waverly, what do you say to those who say, I hear you, Cole, I hear you got your brand, but it sounds like you gatekeeping to me because I ain't with no fraternal order. I ain't with all that. So is that gatekeeping, or you want to add to that, or?
Well, I mean, I can speak. I am a member of the Masonic Order. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Whoop, whoop.
What he said is exact opposite of gatekeeping. Now, as far as the fraternity and the Masonic Order, no, I'm not going to tell you no secrets unless you come to the meetings and do what you need to do to be a part of it. But everything he said, if you just, it's history is there, many enslaved or recently freed Black men use barbering to earn money to purchase their own family members. The stuff that you want to do in barbering, as far as make you some money, open up your own barbershop and open up other business, people like Franklin Herndon did that. You know, Abraham Lincoln's longtime Springfield barber. His name was Billy Florville. He was a Haitian-born barber.
There's who you're talking about. The Salonzo Herndon did like what you said. Yeah,
exactly.
Go ahead. I got your little history. I know you was gonna say that, but I was ready.
The history is there. Everything that, to me, a barber wants to do, far as I know a fact that I've changed elections, outputs of elections. I know for a fact that me personally and my barbershop and my organization, the Urban Barber Association, I know that we've swayed elections with the point of having people come out to vote. You know, the barbershop is always going to be a place that people complain, but, you know, I've always pushed the envelope. And traditionally in business, they tell you not to talk about certain things. What is it? Politics, religion, and something else. I push back against that, because if we not go talk about it in the barbershop, how we go change it? You know,
the barbershop, y'all go hard a little bit different.
It's free information. Like,
go to the barbershop talk, y'all a little bit more rougher than the hairstyle. We're a little bit more meek. You know what I'm saying? We're not like ColeCutzs. But we're going to swing it over to YahTay. Do you feel like, are you in agreement with Rod of the ColeCutzBrand, brand, or do you some people have said they feel like, you know, that's gatekeeping, because the new barbers, or me and Stefano called them new jacks, they just, like, no disrespect to whatever happened, but this is how we getting down in the millennium and as we move forward. What is your take? Because you're new, maybe not as in, you know, young as an experience. So I hate to put all that weight on you before we bring Debrina in. But what do you say to what Mr. Rod had to say about the importance of history, which sets the tone as we move this conversation forward?
Well, history is very important, not just from the culture of barbering, but just from your own individual life. So when you look at it from that perspective, knowing your history, from which you came, you can move forward. In reference to the fraternal aspect, I'm not in a fraternity. You know, I haven't been in one, but I do understand the system. I do understand responsibility. You know, I've served in the military. I understand support. I understand, you know, you have rules, you have regulations, you have guidelines, you have standards to uphold. So for someone that's coming in who's had a variety of careers, I'm coming in a little more, I say, seasoned. I'm new to it, but I'm not new to it. In saying that, the professionalism that Cole talks about, I've seen it, or lack thereof. You know, the presentation that Cole talks about, I've seen it, and the lack thereof.
But what about people who are saying, y'all taking it too hard? Hit that, come on, y'all, hit that heart button. Y'all making it too hard. Some of us, we're in a service business.
We're in a service business. We are servicing people, and there is a level, an expectation that the people expect, regardless of if they're paying $19, $100. There's a level of service. Now, they may not want the precision or, you know, the experience based on the price standpoint. However, they do expect a level of professionalism. They do expect the service, a certain level of service to come through. So it's a different ball game. And I think me coming in at my age and having been in a variety of careers, my soft skills, my communication, the level of professionalism that I carry across, soft skills, it goes from, you know,
so you feel like the history helps complement that. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Let's bring Debrina in and let's see if she can add to this conversation. All right, Miss Debrina, you got it together?
Yes, got it together. You know, I hear sometimes that what
you know, we still can't hear. Sorry, let me put you on the mute right quick so we can. We still, your sound is still.
Just don't have a good signal. That's all.
Yeah, you may have to maybe go outside in your car or something like that and see if you can use it from your phone. And because in your house you don't have a good signal. So maybe sure you could text her and ask her to go into the car. Okay. So I'm going to take her out and she's going to try to go to her car where she might can get a better signal. But sure, you're going to be the grand poobah. And I'm going to, as they all talk, I will drop their Instagram handles, here as they give their feedback. So Cheryl, you're gonna segue us into the next talking point. But what's your take? I mean, you're the grand poobah. Your father, Dr. Willie Morrow, is the man that's sitting next to the man that's sitting next to the man next to that.
Yep.
Okay. They don't know about that, but either way, they don't know about the piccolo player, but that's okay. Cole, you might know, Roderick. You might know about the piccolo player. But the man that's sitting next to the man is Dr. Willie Morrow. So that's a tall order for barbers to maybe not emulate, but let's say pass the baton. I mean, your father did some dynamic things. So what's your take on what Cole? Because Cole went hard and saying, no, we ain't having none of that. So what's your take on it from your, you being, an heiress to the California curl empire that your father built?
Well, I always wanted to, be in the league. So what Mr. Morrow told us to do is that if you wanted me to pay for your college and everything, you had to become a barber and a hairstylist. So I don't tell everybody, but I am a barber. But
no, I'm just kidding.
I did do that before. Come on, man.
She'll be lying, but that's okay, Rod. She always, it's like a friend. You think that's when you think you know somebody. You know what they do? This way. Hey, Cole. Then what? Here you go. Here we go. Watch this, Cole.
What you talking about, Willis?
See how she doing, Rod? She just said, I'm a barber too.
But we couldn't go to school. Mr. Morrow wouldn't pay for nothing after high school unless you went to go to barber school and cosmetology school. It's as plain as that. And that was the reason for that was that he said that by the time your Asian, European, and Hispanic counterpart gets done with the 4 years, you would have already made $250,000. That's what he said. And he wasn't. I was not a broke college student. Put it that way. Okay. But the point I think I'm trying to make is that one of the things that we spend a lot of hours behind people's head.
Yes.
Literally behind their head.
Okay.
And
all right,
there's a word that we don't use often, but I literally think barbers are professors. And to profess is to talk and teach.
Yes.
Yes. Because we do have one advantage over most educators. We only have oral tradition. We don't have time to give you a pamphlet. We ain't got time to be turning you around, writing shit down. We don't have time. We have to use rhythm, enunciation, sound. We have to use what we call mnemonic, the same thing as rappers use.
Word.
Use stories. We have to use sound. We've got to use incidents. We have to use pause. We have to use Himalayas like preachers. We have to use all of those things to impress upon. And I just will say, YahTay and Waverly and Cole understand these are desperate times. Yep. And we don't have time to mince words.
All right. I got some words. Now, what I did, I went through everybody's social media and I got some of y'all words. Now, this is not to minimize or maximize, but I just took a little snippet. But Cole, I'm gonna swing it back to you again, okay? Because this gonna get it started. All right. Now it's about a minute, but if y'all first, no, I'm gonna play yours and I'm gonna come back with Pete. the guy in the military, okay? Because you coming hard and he coming hard, okay? So let me start with you, and then it's about to get real. It's about to get hot in here, okay? So if you faint at the heart, you going over on Instagram and get some more of this what he has to say. So here's your topic on, as Waverly said, you're holding up the mirror to the industry. We call it orange shopping orange. Some people might say you're rather insulting. All right. So here we go.
Consistently, you'll notice it's not traditional barber game. It's never been traditional barber game. I used to get online and I see barbers. This is how you do a taper. It's how you do a low fade. Or in order to build your clientele, you need to pass out 10 business cards, and for every 10 you pass out, you're going to get one. Now, granted, all of this is needed. Barbers need to know how to cut hair, and some barbers need to pass out business cards if that works for them. Just traditional game. Everybody trying to be politically correct. Yeah. People tiptoeing and scared to say what it. I came in hitting them hard. I came in telling them stop chasing tail, get off that weed, get off that alcohol, stop chasing women and get your one gal. Wow. Yeah, I came hitting them where it really hurt. Wow. Speaking to who they really are. And it upset a lot of people. But I started hitting it with that type of game because it's personal development, right? Because it all goes into your professional development, right? And that shook up a lot of people, but it also touched the right people.
Yeah. That's who Waverly. He held the mirror up. Now we're not saying all barbers, have chase a lot of tail, to smoke a lot of weed, drink a lot of alcohol.
But a hell of a lot.
Cosmetologists,
keep it a buck.
Don't y'all get hoity-toity. Don't cosmetologists, nail techs, don't get hoity-toity. But these are unfortunately a part of the culture of a lot of African American professionals.
And
now I will go.
Can I interrupt? I think he was saying that because he probably has spoken, and I don't want to speak for you, but just let me know if I'm right, to guys that saying I'm on my own shop one day. How you go on your own shop one day if you dropping $250 at the strip club every week?
Yep.
How you go build your clientele if your hands smell like weed and you working on my beard?
Yep.
Even weed smokers don't want that.
Maybe they're trying to get the weed as a customer. I'm playing devil's advocate tonight, Cheryl. So
but that's gonna work in a small percentage of his clientele. So that's what he's saying. Like, you can't do the things that your mouth is saying you want to do because your actions don't match it.
Correct.
That's all.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys find this in, and I'm just saying, throwing it out there, male barbers more than female barbers?
I see it in all. I don't make a distinction between the two because a barber is a barber. You know what I mean? We all barbers. But I do see it in just barbers in general, male or female. It's the same because and I think it's because the flexibility of barbering gives you the ability to do what you want to do, right? And that is attractive to a person in this career, in this profession, rather, this trade has attracted a large amount of people who don't want to follow rules, people who are, they just like to live free and do whatever they want to do. And I think that's one of the byproducts of it, is that we get a lot of people come in with a lot of bad habits, not just weed. I'm talking they drinking alcohol, they chasing girl, they coming in late, they got bad habits, things that you wouldn't be able to maintain a 9-to-5 with. You could come do that in barbering, and sadly, you can make a little bit of money, right? A little bit of money, something to get by and make it look like you're doing something. But for the long term, and when it's time to level up, that ain't gonna be able to go with you.
Now we have our clock said it's the facade that's taking people down, every day. But I mean, I mean, don't some people feel, I mean, marijuana is legal now. So are you all being persnickety, Waverly? You're in recovery. Are you guys just being a little high on the hog now that you have blue, check marks after your name, and now you're acting like, I mean, weed is legal. I mean, I'm just a Snoop Dogg for shizzle,
Right. Well,
So
yeah, weed is legal. So is alcohol. But I don't want nobody drinking if I'm letting you cut my beard. I don't want nobody under no influence of nothing. And again, I got 17 bar under my brand, the largest minority-owned barbershop chain in the state of Ohio. So it's 17 to 20 of us at any given time. And so I'm listening to, including me, 19 other people tell me how they want to own their own shop one day, but you come in late every day. And if you come in late, and if I got an opening, which that's how I make my schedule, because I count on you being late every day. So I make sure I got my 9 and my 9:30 slot open, because I'm going to get your client, because I'm tired of him walking in all the time telling me that, man, what happened, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to go ahead and take care of him for you every week at 9:30. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it's legal. But again, your words, your actions don't match your words. I want to see you win. If you win, I win. If you get money, you're not going to tell me that it was slow at the end of the week. And then we got to have that conversation.
So YahTay, I'm going to pass the ball to you, okay? So what's a barber to do to level up? And then I'm going to shoot it back over. I'm going to see if I can get Debrina in right quick. YahTay, what's a barber to do what Roderick is talking about when he's saying that, he's pushing those buttons and he's holding that mirror up and saying that will not work. So what will work, for a barber outside? Now let's give them something beside I'm not knocking getting dressed, because I want y'all to really talk to the barbers. And then Cole, I want you, because it's something they may not be hearing that we're not just really saying. What is it that's really going to work for a barber that wants to get to whatever quote unquote level they're trying to get to? So I'm gonna pass it to you, YahTay, back to you, Cole, and then Debrina, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in, because our clock said it's really the facade that's taking them down. So let's keep it 100 and talk to these barbers and saying this is really what we're saying.
It's self-introspection. You have to look at what it is you want to do, how you want to serve, and your vision for yourself, and not just for yourself, but for your clientele. And if you need to make some adjustments, make some cuts, take some stuff out that's going to move you forward, then that's what you need to do. And as Cole and Mr. Willis, Mr. Waverly has said, it's about professional development. We're in a professional setting. Are you presenting yourself in a professional manner? Yes, those things are legal. It's legal. Weed is legal in not all states, but some of them. At the same time, how are you presenting yourself? How are you representing yourself? How do people view you? How do you view yourself?
Maybe they just stress. Let's talk. I mean, let's just keep it 100. A lot of the usage is just coming from, I don't have enough customers, right? I'm out here, I'm grinding, I'm on IG, I'm passing out the cars, but they ain't coming in, right? I mean, I'm stressed. I pulled my pants.
Let me answer that. When I started,
and I still ain't got no people. So what y'all trying to say to a brother or sister like me that's really trying, like y'all saying, but I don't have no customers? So YahTay, you take it away. Why'd you come back to bring? I'm gonna bring you in.
I started with 0 customers, 0. Didn't know nothing about barbering. I come from a cosmetology background. In saying that, I had to put a plan of action together. I had to focus. Cole, I shared this in one of my videos. The who, what, when, where, and why.
Y'all write this down, barbers.
Write it down like that, but I knew, okay, when I started at the barbershop in the mall, no grease. I didn't know how to cut straight hair. So what I did is I took a second job to go somewhere to learn. I came through doing COVID. I'm gonna make it quick. Came through doing COVID. We were shut down. I had to figure out how I'm gonna get these skills. So I worked at the barbershop and worked over at Great Clips so that I can learn how to cut straight hair to be able to accommodate everybody that was coming in, even though I specialized in textured hair care, which meant braids, locks, twists. That was my specialty. In that, I got a flyer. I walked the mall. My specific thing at the time was, okay, I'm going to focus on locks. And everybody that had locks, I looked at their body language. I, just basically read them and provided them a flyer. I gave a discount. It was school, back to school, because when I started, we went back to school. $25 off. You
So
bring this flyer.
I'm going to interject that what you're saying is that you ended up. Did you literally write down a plan, or you mentally had a plan?
No, I mentally wrote down a plan because I knew what I needed to do.
All right, Cole, let me pass it to you.
I took those steps and did it.
All right, Cole, let me pass it to you. I'm doing okay. YahTay said you mentally have a plan. I mentally had a plan, but I had no customers. The one customer I had, he had some draw. He had some weed. You know what I'm saying, Wade? We see it, Wade. And I went on ahead and swapped out the weed, the cut to get the weed, and because I was stressed and because I'm not getting no customers. So what are we saying to those? Because I think that's some of the stressors of drinking and doing drugs is, I cannot get any people to keep me busy to stop me from smoking weed and getting drunk and all of that. So Cole, you take it away, and sure, we're gonna play this next clip and you take it. We're gonna have it come back to you.
Well, I dropped some statistics not too long ago about weed. It actually does not reduce stress. It actually increases stress, right? These are yeah. So, and I did that on purpose, and I'm not against it. Look, I used to smoke. I'm a 2-time felon. I done been through that life, all that. Been in prison, all that. I come from that, so I know what it takes to grow to the next level. But I got something to say to the person that has a lot of those excuses why they don't have clientele, right?
Are you really saying that?
Yeah. Listen, this is why I speak about personal development, because you mean to tell me you don't have family members, friends, even a significant other with family member and friends, with family members and friends, you don't have nobody to be your base clientele to start with. And if you don't, let's say you don't, well, something is wrong with you because you're not magnetic to other people. What is wrong with you, right? You got some people out here that got a great social circle, can't cut their way out of a cardboard box, yet they are fully booked because they have a great social circle, because they are personable, people like them, and they're just a magnetic person, right? If you're not magnetic as a person, that's why I talk about fitness, finances, and relationships. You get those 3 things right, you are magnetic. Anything you touch is going to go well because people are going to gravitate towards you, and then you can perform your services or whatnot in exchange. People are coming to see you. If you don't have people coming to see you, you might want to check yourself.
Okay. Can you repeat those 3 those points if you don't have
fitness, finances, and relationships?
Fitness, finances, and relationships.
In that relationship sector, that's your relationship with God, your relationship with your significant other, and your relationship with your family, right? If you fix those 3 areas, I guarantee you wouldn't struggle for clientele. Your only problem would be managing them.
Wow. I'm gonna go ahead on it. That's a mic drop. What you say to that, sure. Now, Waverly, you want to add to that before I move on? Because powerful fitness, finance, and relationship barbers, that's going to get you to the next level so that we can stop being unsung. Because I think that the stereotype of barbers is that they don't have fitness, finance, and relationships because they're womanizers. They got like she said, the facade, and then the fitness may not always be there. So Waverly, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I just want to echo the sentiment that ColeCutzBrand said, as well as what YahTay said. She found out that she had some weaknesses. She went, studied, found a job. I'm sure it was a lot of unhappy people doing that straight hair, but you made it work. You see what I'm saying? And you built from there. And he hit it right on the head. It's just an excuse to smoke weed at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And everything as far as our history, if you study the history of barbering, everything that the most successful barbers did up until the point that they were millionaires, the blueprint is there. It's just a different day and time. They branched out from barbering. They went into politics, or they bought other or started other businesses. That's the same thing we're trying to do. The real barbers, that is the same exact thing that we're trying to do today. It's just a different time.
And let me add to that. When we
and then we're gonna. That's a perfect segue because I'm doing the build into this unsung of the unsung. But go ahead, add to it, please.
If back in the day when the African slaves were cutting white men because we were the barbers because it was considered servant work, they would shave the white men, right? Because that's mostly what they used, the razor. They would have a razor up to this white man's throat. This is a slave owner. This is a slave master. They have a razor up to his throat to shave him. They did not take his life. They chose to be disciplined. They chose excellence. They chose to do what they needed to do in order to survive and make it to the next day, right? If that barber could have the discipline not to slice the neck of his master, then you can have the discipline to not smoke some weed behind a chair. Part of being a barber is holding back and having discipline in those type of areas right there. That's part of being a barber. You can do what you want outside the shop. Do not bring it in. Do not.
All right. Okay. All right. Now we have our other two guests. We're going to bring them in. But what I'm going to do as I bring them in, and this is going to be Miss Debrina. I think we lost her again, Cheryl. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And so we're going to bring in Solomon in a minute. So now we got the build up. All right. We see what the challenges are, but now we have Dr. Willie Morrow, who had a real challenge. All right. I want to play it in this modern day context. And then Cheryl, you're going to take us through, and we're just going to kind of fall back on some of the points that YahTay, Waverly, and Roderick just made about what it takes today. So here is a modern day twist on a problem that Cheryl's father had to confront with all of the same issues that you guys have today. He had to confront it in 1966, before I was born. And so here's the modern twist on it. And Cheryl, I want you to take it away with how your father, how in the French toast and the bologna sandwich, was he able to utilize all these points that the barbers talked about as we build into barbershop talk, the barbers, the unsung heroes in America. So here's Mr. Pete Headset. I hope I'm saying his name right. Sorry, guys.
This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done.
All right, Cheryl, there it is. Today we are coming 360 degrees in full circle. This is the real life of what barbers are going to be having to address in real time. Barbers just don't service people who live in the neighborhood, but they service the people who protect our country. But we have a military that's saying, beardos, y'all got to go. So Cole, if you're in the barber and you're looking like Roderick, you got to get the hell out, okay? You too, Waverly. Ain't nobody got time because we barbers are gonna have to help address this for real, okay? But they're unsung about what your father was able to do. So Cheryl, in the modern day times, with your father now being sung next week, How was your dad able to confront and set the tone for a whole industry to solve the problem of what the current administration is saying? I don't care. We ain't dealing with it. NOMO.
Yeah, beards was never the issue. The military contracted Mr. Morrow out of 215 barbers. And their problem was ingrown hairs. And Mr. Morrow switched it to enlarged pores. But what made him different out of the 215 was that Mr. Morrow was able to scientifically prove that there was nothing wrong with Black men's skin. And it was more of a practical approach. If men do not get ingrown hairs on their lip, they do not get that ingrown hairs on their sideburns. They don't get it on their chin. They get it in the cheek underneath their neck-ish area. And so therefore, that is not a skin problem. So because he was scientifically able to prove that, and that made, because most people don't realize top military medical doctors are some of the best in the world. They're the most advanced in the world. And they have to be proven in so many other ways. But the key here is for us to not be unsung. And unsung means that you go and you participate in something, and then once you stop, your legacy stops. Mr. Morrow would say, you live to actually see your legacy die because it's connected to your technical prowess. Okay. And so once that happens, is that we are trying to take it into from our introductory level, our intermediate level, which means, and then our power cycle, which means, of course, getting customers and clients, right? But for some reason, we get stuck there, and then we go off into the sunset, and then it's as if we were never there, right? And so we want to be able to turn these particular skill sets and the knowledge obtained during the years of study and experience and all these wonderful things, we want to turn them into legacy brands. Just like a Ralph Lauren's he's 80 something years old, and they're now trying to sing him because of course of all the things he's done. And so we want to have a wide career, not a long career. That's not that the long career, you know, your job gonna kill you. And we already know that a job will killed our grandfathers and grandmothers, okay? But we want to expand and challenge each other and say, do we know enough of what history that has already happened? Because the key here, even on the history kind of conversation we were just having, we tend to do things over. And
like what? Like what y'all talking about? Cole, Waverly, YahTay, what are we doing over? What do you mean when you say that?
When we do things over, which means that if I never told you that the Afro era happened and all the other details to it, what we will do is we will do dumb things like the Crown Act. See, that's starting over, which means that I have to now convince the new 25-year of the heirs of the assholes that have already did it. Their grandfather and father already did it, signed it into law and signed it into case law. We've already have a trajectory on the history. And now, years later, I got to go reprogram his child and reconvince Pete Hegseth. No, what I want Pete Hegseth to do is go back into the history book and be able to do something, because what MAGA says, we want to do things as we always did them. We want to make America great again. Well, the great again is what pull us forward in the now.
But can barbers today do, let me, before you answer that, Cheryl, we're going to go one by one, and I'm going to ask the panel, Do you think the barbers of today can do what Dr. Willie Morrow did, which is confront Pete Hegseth and do exactly? Cheryl, you talk about bag, I might lock you up, Cheryl. I'm for real now. They ain't playing out here. Do you think the barbers of today can do what a Dr. Willie Morrow did with the military? And I'm gonna start with you, YahTay. I had to put it on you like that, but you are in the military because it's gonna have to happen because they are saying that these men, they don't care about your pores or you're going to have to shave that hair and get that stuff off your face and a host of other lewd things that he said. But do you think the barbers today can do what a Dr. Willie Morrow did?
This is a deep question. And though I've been in the military, I've been out some 24 years now. And I had my own experiences with grooming standards for myself when I was in. But nonetheless, it is a challenge because the lack of, like Cheryl said, is there. So it's, do we want to bring that information forward, look into it, and run with it, continue to use it as a blueprint to run with it? Or do we want to ignore it, thus ignoring a whole race of people in terms of how the hair grows out of their head or out of their skin in the reference of men? I was the one putting those documents in the files,
Okay.
because they're having problems of shaving,
So do you think they can?
It's touchy for me because, I'm part of that culture, yet I was within that system having to, make sure these documentations are in the service jacket, and talking with them about this and what needs to be done. And I wasn't even in the hair industry at that time, not familiar with Dr. Willie Morrow's legacy at that time.
Let me pause you right there. Let me pause. So had you known what Cheryl said, perhaps you would have been able to do what she just said barbers need to do, and that is sergeant whatever. I'm not in the military, but here's a little historical reference, and I'm just gonna pause you right there because I see what you're saying. Is that sometimes you're in the position, but if you don't know the information,
right,
you can't do it. But it's going to come up because the Black military men and women are going to depend on the barbers to do what Dr. Willie Morrow did, which is what we're having this podcast is all about, right? So I'm gonna pass it to you, Waverly. And thank you so much, YahTay, for your comment on that. And in the chat, you guys let us know. Do you think the barbers of today can do what Dr. Willie Morrow did, which is confront that Hegseth? Because from there, it springboarded to all that we have today. He didn't just solve it, but he went on to do so much more. Do you think the barbers today can confront that administration and address that skincare and that they're saying, I don't care, shave it. I don't care what happens. Do you think the barbers today can do what a Dr. Willie Morrow did?
Well, I think that question goes back to the basic, purpose of this conversation. Do I want to just cut hair or do I want to be a barber? Because I can get a piece of paper from the state of Ohio cosmetology and barber department and cut hair legally and not give a damn, come to work smelling like weed, late, blah, 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 blah. But if you study your history of people like Dr. Willie Morrow, you know that you can change lives. You can change a whole department in the United States government. So yes, they can do it today. Luckily, we got barbers like YahTay and ColeCutzBrand that's still repeating. Repetition is the father of learning. So they go keep beating it. I'm gonna keep following their lead. I'm gonna keep following Dr. Morrow's lead till the younger guys or the guys that just want to cut hair decide they want to be barbers.
All right. The Fade Shop said, yes, I can. Boy, y'all making Dr. Willie Morrow proud. Okay, sure. They like we can do this. Okay, Cole. It's on you. It's on you. Do you think the barbers of today can look at Dr. Willie Morrow and say, at some point, we're going to have to step up for the brothers in the military and the sisters, because women have hair issues too, right, ladies? I'm not in the barber, but I do see some women come in the hair salon and they have hair on their face as well, and also the hair cutting standards. So, do you think the barbers of today can look to turn to Dr. Willie Morrow's blueprint, for lack of better words, and confront this current administration, because you guys are going to have to help the brothers in the military and the sisters out in the military?
Yeah, I mean, it's the basis of this conversation. You know, the two things, moving like a fraternity, meaning we have these background discussions on how we can get that done. And knowing your history, knowing the people who've done it, who've laid the blueprint for us as well. And we have a lot of barbers that's connected with the military. Some still are going on base. So if we have these conversations in the background about it and put certain barbers in position that got access to that, with knowing your history and knowing how how Mr. Morrow have achieved what he achieved with the U.S. military, we can get it done. I see it happening. I mean, it's really mandatory, despite the current administration. I mean, we are the backbone, so we just got to make the moves.
All right. They say it can happen. Now, Cheryl, some people may not know exactly what your father did. So I'm going to play the clip, and this is by Dr. Beth Bailey, of exactly what Dr. Willie Morrow did. And then, Cheryl, I want you to just kind of piggyback from there, because I ain't going to lie. I was a hater. I was like, they ain't going to be able to do it. But y'all said, yes, we can and we will. So here's a clip that kind of highlights a little bit of what happened. And as Cole, YahTay, and Waverly is saying, is that we're going to have to, follow the blueprint. So here it goes.
Leaders recognized that PX stock was aimed primarily at white soldiers and their families, and that many Black soldiers and their families felt ignored. They felt like they were not being treated as full members in the Army. The shelves on PXs were filled with shampoos that promised to bring out the natural highlights and the softness of hair. That wasn't welcoming. So they solved the problem that was within their sphere. The first thing they did was to identify a, quote, urgent requirement to improve hair cutting for Black customers, Afros. They located a Black barber from San Francisco who had written about styling Black hair, and they sent him traveling around U.S. military installations, Army installations all over the world. He spent 3 weeks in Germany and England, where he taught 750 barbers and 300 beauticians. And then he did a 40-day whirlwind tour of Alaska, Hawaii, and Southeast Asia. He taught barbers how to cut Black hair. This is him teaching barbers in Tokyo. I gave this a version of this talk in Tokyo in January, and had a lot of requests for copies of this photograph. Afros, yeah, they're sort of modified, but at least they were teaching the proper tools and techniques, and they were guaranteeing that they wouldn't be charged more for Afros than white soldiers were charged for regulation haircuts. It wasn't going to be a specialty haircut. It was just a haircut.
Powerful.
And one thing that we don't talk about, do you guys realize how many Black hair care companies were shocked and catapulted into commerce just from that one contract that Mr. Morrow got? And so when Mr. Morrow got a call from George Johnson, John Johnson, and S.B. Fuller. So just imagine S.B. Fuller had already been successful in Harlem, right, with Fuller and his door-to-door product line. Then you get a call from George Johnson, and you get a call from John Johnson of Ravine and Duke. Most people don't realize that Ebony, Jet, the founders, were into beauty products, not magazines. Magazines is because of racism. So they just decided to start their own magazines because they couldn't advertise their own products in other ones. The point is that just imagine how many product lines got started because he traveled and then put Black people products in the commerce, in the commissaries, in these PXs all over the world, which means that if you think about that now, that would be bigger than Amazon. That would be bigger than Walmart. That means that you were in every military base beauty supply store on every continent on earth, right? So and just not as in just repeating that. This is not just for us to just repeat it. We must embody the spirit to be able to say, oh, I got mine, but Cole and Waverly and YahTay and Debrina and Solomon and LaDosha, she got hers too, and I'm going to bring those with me. And so when he got the call and say, brother Morrow, look, I'm going to send a photographer everywhere you go. And in exchange, I want you to take Ravine, Duke, you're going to take Ultra Sheen, and you're going to take SB Fuller's, and you're going to take their products and put it in the commissaries too. And because Mr. Morrow was a boy from Alabama, he said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He wasn't trying to play or hate. He wasn't trying to do any of that because he understood at this moment in time, we have the most powerful military and largest personnel of employees on planet Earth. And this was a moment. And so it's not only could we do it, do we have the integrity to do it? Do we have the composition to do it, the attitude to do it?
Now, can I just ask each barber on the panel, as Cheryl shared that with you, how her father did that, and bringing people into the fold of what he was doing with a yes sir instead of a, well, you know what, I'm doing all this work, y'all got to get in where y'all fit in. What's your take on that? Let's start with you, Waverly, because we're talking about being unsung. People don't know. A lot of barbers have no clue of who Dr. Willie Morrow is. So what's your take on the power of what he's done? And what would you say to barbers? And we'll just go through each one. Y'all answer the same question on, I guess you would call that Ubuntu, I am because we are, to keep that spirit going. What would you recommend for a barber in the spirit of Dr. Willie Morrow?
Well, in the spirit of Dr. Willie Morrow and in the spirit of this conversation, we keep getting back to the same thing. We're sharing information because that's what a barber does. A person that just cut hair in a barbershop, they just cut hair in a barbershop. They don't share information. And if you a real barber and you got confidence, you're gonna get your money regardless. So of course, the blueprint, like ColeCutzBrand is giving his shocking stuff out because it might put a little fire up under certain barbers' behinds. You know what I'm saying? To make them say, you know what, he right. He just want to see us win, just like Dr. Morrow. He took all of us with him when he went overseas. You know what I'm saying? He took all of us. And just think about the wealth that not only he created for himself, but for all of those products. It's Black people that own all of those products that he presented, made this national brand, or even maybe a city or state brand, a global brand. Multiply that times all of the products that he brought. So yeah.
All right. So you're saying, in the spirit of that, is that we need to embody that and just incorporate it and just make it the norm that we carry each other. And I know Waverly, he definitely carries me into his brand. I mean, when he goes on TV, he'll, if I'm doing something and hey, here's a press release for LaDosha, he carries me into the brand, into his brand. We can all do that. YahTay, what's your take on what Cheryl just said of her father seeing things bigger, than himself and saying, let me take all of y'all along with us. What would you like to add to that?
I want to add that Dr. Willie Morrow was genius with that. In saying that he came from a different time where they stuck together, they supported one another, they looked out for one another. It's like growing up in the projects. You got bread, you got eggs, we gonna eat.
Yes, absolutely.
Today, it's not like that. And I, as someone who taught in the, you know, the school system, it's a different generation.
Can you give us because we want solutions here. Can you give them a solution to work through? Because that's a very vulnerable position to be in, especially it's kind of like the GDI, you know, the goddamn individuals. So what can you say to a barber who might be like, shit, Dr. Willie Morrow, he better than I ain't no way I'm gonna take Waverly. You got me.
Well, we have to commune with those who are ready to move forward.
Okay.
It's simple. Right. Commune with those who are ready to move forward and move forward.
He said you ain't got to try to convince everybody. Those that want to come along with the ride, come on. Right. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. All right. Next up. Okay, Debrina, your turn. What's your take on how we're going to carry this legacy forward, and just giving some solutions to the barbers that's like, no, you and Roderick, y'all better than me. Dr. Willie Morrow, he come from a different fabric. So take it away. What would you like to add to that?
Dr. Willie Morrow was one of my personal mentors. He taught me to be professional. He taught me not to be a trap barber. Okay. He told me to be professional, a trap barber.
What's that? I'm sorry. Help us out.
Basically, one that when you're in the barbershop, you're constantly you're making money to do the things that the whole panel spoke on, to smoke, go to strip clubs and stuff like that. He taught me to be professional. He taught me to, when I walk into a place, show up and show up. He said, you know what, you show up and you suit up. He's my personal mentor. He's not somebody that I know from the internet. Okay. He's a legend in my life. He taught me, he personally spoke with me and said, do better than me. Okay. He passed the torch to me and said, you know what? And I felt like, you know, I had some big shoes to fill, but you know what? I use my barber chair as my pulpit, and I teach, I learn, I listen. And I don't do, I'm not a barbershop type person. I'm a personal type person. So
you're saying, so you're saying to put all of that down, and you got to do what you got to do, even though you may feel some kind of way. Like you said, that was your teacher. You did what he said that had to be done, and you didn't question it. You just did it. Okay. All right, Cole, the press is on you now. What's your take on, you know, the work that he did and how barbers today can, you know, use that and carry each other into perspective spaces as we move the needle on what's about to happen with Black men in the military? And like somebody put in the chat, it is going to happen in society as well. So can you take it away?
So, you know, at being a student of the game and learning that, it lights a fire up under me as well. It goes with the mission that I'm currently on, right? I started a expo fund called the Fade from Black Expo Fund. And right now we're at like 54% of our first financial goal, because Black barbers have stepped up and start putting their money where their mouths are, right? And I say this to say that I'm not complaining. I'm not about the complaining party. I'm about making solutions. And this is a prime example of what I'm trying to build, what Dr. Morrow has done. You getting the Black brands, you getting a lot of the Black barbers together, you bringing everybody with you. One of the main issues in our industry now is the lack of representation and the lack of respect for African-American barbers, even though we built this industry, okay? And I see that problem. See, what Dr. Morrow did was got those people together, took them with him and helped it grow. People don't respect it. Most barbers don't even know about it. Right? They don't know that is what you're supposed to be doing as an African-American barber. You're supposed to be taking people with you. You're supposed to be helping other brands grow. with this expo that I got going, I just got off the phone with some sponsors, right? And I just unlocked a whole list of Black sponsors from a lot of Black brands. And when you look at that, you will notice that it's a lot of successful Black brands that's down for the mission. They're down to get with a movement as long as it's valid and is actually pushing a culture forward. So I do see what Dr. Morrow did and a lot of other Black barbers from back in the day. They worked together. It was a lot of unity. It was a lot of bring the others along, and just like it was mentioned earlier, we only moving with the movers and shakers. Everybody else, you're gonna get shook off, because everybody else, if you ain't with it, you ain't moving forward. We're gonna move forward with the people that's about this and that's being accountable and that understands what the mission is, because we know our history and we're paying attention to these political climates that's constantly trying to erase us, right? And we doing what we got to do in order to fight that back, right? To fight back against a lot of those problems. So I just think that you got to hit up a lot of these barbers like myself, like everybody on this live right now.
Okay.
Right? Hit us up. We got to stay united, but we also only got to let people in that's about their life. You got to be about their life, and we push the culture forward and make the necessary moves. Everybody else really don't matter. If you complaining, look, just sit to the side. You Black, we love you. Sit to the side.
I love it. You Black, we love you. Sit to the side.
But if you got that action, get on over here. Tell us what you can put on the table, whether that's influence, whether it's money, whether it's connections, whatever it may be, and let's move forward.
Now that's very interesting, because that's something that Cheryl, you know, she just said that her father literally did. This person said, I'm gonna send a cameraman. I don't cut hair, but I'm gonna send a cameraman, and then you're gonna do your part. And then he said, yes, sir. Let's see if Solomon is gonna come through and see if he can share with us if he has any comments on that. I'll give him a couple of seconds. In the meantime, if you guys could go ahead on and hit that thumbs up button, and Cheryl's gonna tell you guys what you need to do right now to help change the narrative that barbers, they're not necessarily the unsung heroes, you know, of America. They are the heroes of America. So right now, show them what they need to do for YahTay, and for Weekay, and you know, we're about to get y'all. Hold on, here we go right now.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
All right.
So how many barbers do you guys think is in each state?
I think it's 8,000 in Ohio.
It's 8,000 in Ohio. Okay. And where are you at, Roderick?
I'm in Texas. I'm not sure the exact number, but the licensing don't
right. Movers and shakers, not 8,000 movers and shakers, Waverly. How many Waverlys do you think that's in the state of Ohio?
We got about 14. Well, in Houston alone, we got about 14.
I'm talking about of the elk, not you.
Cut from that cloth.
That cut from that cloth.
Man, we looking at maybe about less than.
Let's do 10. Let's do 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
What do you say?
YahTay, how many do you think is in your state?
We'll be lucky.
New word today, guys.
I was trying to get 10. I ain't gonna lie, and I had to
no problem. YahTay.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's do
5. Okay. Sabrina, how many do you think are in San Diego are of your ilk?
I'm gonna say at least 5.
Okay.
5 to 10.
Why did you want to know that?
Because of course I'm a mathematician. And when you talk about $3 to $4 to $5 billion in terms of revenue, and one of the things that me and my dad used to always talk about every Saturday, talk is cheap. You do the math. Mm-hmm. You follow the money. You do the math all day, every day, right? And so if you think that if you just lowball it and you do that, and you divide it in terms of annual and all of the potential, and especially of expos and things of that nature, you're still talking about 3 million per barber, right? And then once you understand, and that's not service, that's commerce. That's products and services, and nothing is sold. I don't think anything turns in the world unless something's sold, right? That's most markets and things of that nature. Okay. And that in terms of, we don't even have to get, we can get motivated and talk about it in an allegoric way if we want to, that's fine. But we need to be mathematicians, because at the end of the day, once we say that this is, because when we do the math, and we don't do the math when we talk about spending, we're spenders, or whatever, how much money we actually spend. That's just our dollar. Right. That's not even getting the other dollar from the other communities and other things.
Right. But now this type of barbershop talk is very, now I'm not saying, don't get me right. Okay, Waverly, y'all don't get me. No, I'm just saying now. Now, is this the kind of barbershop talk? Does this take place in barbershops? Are barbers having these powerful discussions, or are barbers like, bro, I'm trying to get my brand on. I'm trying to get my Urban Kutz. Are barbers having these types? This is a different kind of a barbershop talk. So Waverly, are barbers talking like this is what we need to do in the spirit, not just when I say Dr. Willie Morrow, but just the industry inspired by Dr. Willie Morrow, because boy, you're talking about on the shoulders of giants. So is this the kind of barbershop talk that's taking place in barber shops?
I don't think it's happening in all barbershops. And just to put it in perspective for you, LaDosha, I know it's happening in my shops. I know it's happening over in Mookie's shops. I know it's happening over at Milano shops. But for the most part, guys are talking about who the best Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, who got the biggest tail, what we about to do Friday night. You know what I'm saying? So not in all shops, to be honest with you.
Okay. Cole, are barbers talking like we need to advance and move, or are barbers like, that's not my lane? Or
me myself, I work out of a suite. However, I have a large network of barbers, publicly and privately. We have private groups. We are talking about it, and there are moves being made from us in this, from far as what we can do. So I can't say that is not not being had, but I can say that a lot of barbers are not on the they're not on that right now. However, that's my duty. That's my job. That's why I educate about people like Mr. Morrow. That's why I educate people about a lot of the Black people in the industry that have moved the needle forward. And I'm starting to wake up the minds of a lot of Black barbers. And I notice from the DMs I get to the support to the fund and the movement that I'm making, I notice that people want this. Barbers want this. They want it. They were afraid to say it, of course. And we're dealing with two major things. We're dealing with the industry putting fear inside of our Black barbers for even speaking out or even stepping up. And then we're dealing with the colonizer Negro mind, where they think everything white is right. So when you want to move as a unit as Black, they instantly get scared instead of stepping up and being willing to die for what you believe in.
Hold on, wait a minute, Cole.
Stop. Hammer time.
Hey, you done went with the deactivating the Willie Lynch chip. Now, you said some powerful stuff here about the conversations, that barbers, could have and should have. And like Waverly said, some are having, is to take that scope of business beyond, just opening up another barbershop. Not to minimize that, but like you said, you're saying that we have a greater responsibility than to ourselves. Is that what you're saying, Cole?
Right.
All
As
right.
a barber, if you know your history, then you know that it ain't about you getting to $100 haircut. It ain't about you getting no followers on no social media, and it's not about you just getting yours. That's not what it's about. A barber is part of the community, whatever that community that may be, whether that's the community of barbers or the community of people that you service. But you got to be part of some type of community, and you have to be pushing forward, especially Black culture, Black community, and Black barbers. That's mandatory.
And so that kind of fits into your FFR, your fitness, finance, and relationships, in order to be able to take, your work ethics and your mission beyond, your own vision, and to carry some other barbers along with you.
Those are things of value. That makes you valuable, right? Like, another barber cannot benefit you, or you can't benefit any community, any barber, anybody, if you don't have those things in order. Those things that makes you of value. That way you can exchange value with the next person. That way you can network, because that's what networking is, exchanging value. If you got fitness, finances, and relationships in order, it's transferable. You can go to people and help them in those areas, then they help you. I got multi-millionaire clients. I got clients that's from all different walks of life, professionally. And when I got my fitness, finances, and relationships in order and stable, I was able to speak about things to where I unlocked an entire different world of people, and giving me information and resources in order to get the things that I'm trying to achieve.
Now, sure, you talked about the barbers, no disrespect, ladies, but for lack of better words, being this distinguished gentleman's club, right? And now females are a part of this distinguished club. And as I listen to everybody give their feedback, these are some very distinguishing characteristics that your father brought, because Debrina talked about, as a female barber, he clearly did not see her gender. He saw her as a professional who have to do these things to be in this distinguished club. So in the legacy of your father, as we talk about this distinguished club, how do you see the barbers of today with, bringing their own, version of distinguishedness, to this type of a tall task, which is to get ready again to help those brothers and sisters in the military, as this current administration is saying, we don't care about y'all beards and y'all nappy heads. Fuck y'all Negroes.
One of the things that I am determined to do is to re-put the 400 Years Without a Comb exhibit collections, because there's so many. They're divided into barber collection, exhibit, and then there's, because hairstyling and barbering only got differentiated because women did Missy's hair and men did Massa's hair. Okay. And men did livestock. That's the only reason why it was divided. Not that just barbering like a tool can't go in a woman's hand or anything of that nature. But here's the thing for me, and I want to hear from Solomon. And I haven't met you, Solomon, but welcome to the conversation. But let me make it just a quick. And the reason why I call it a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is because barbers, the least they did was cut. They were unfortunately wound care, because of course these men being offshore, coming from the West Indies, all the way from then South America, Brazil, and then Nigeria, then Ghana, and then of course the west of Ivory Coast and Senegal. These men had high skill and high knowledge of wound care. Okay, and that's where we get the barber pole from. Wound care. Okay, and that's why they would leave their the plantations and go to fight wars or be the nurses, because that's what they did, right?
Okay.
So cutting was the least of what they did, actually, and that was not formed into businesses until after the emancipation, and then they went and created parlors. They would call them parlors, right? But and of course, men at that point, that's where the only country club men could go to, especially and coalesce and be able to discuss things that were germane to their life, right?
Okay, all right.
I will say the intricate details of how these things came together and how they were pieced together and how they were to function, how applicable the art form into life sciences and in community sciences. That is what must be discussed so we can get back into the behavior patterns.
All right. So with that being said, I got you. Okay. So a talk.
Before I forget my thought process. So we can make them, put them into patterns. And so that pattern is what Cole can duplicate, just like the E-Myth and like white boys do, Michael Gerber, and they can put it into these little nice pattern, little workshops and be able to teach it. Waverly can teach his brand of this applicable behavior because success leaves clues. And that is what becomes the business model in the foundation.
Wow. So you guys just laid out a whole damn blueprint right here on America's favorite podcast about Afro hair, of what the barber industry can do to, as Cole just said, move the needle forward. But Solomon, again, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. And so we want to know, what's your take on this distinguished, gentlemen's club? And Cole was just saying it ain't for everybody. So what's your take on it not being for everybody, and how are we addressing, because some barbers are just they're gonna fall through the cracks. Can we catch them, or is it truly going to be the distinguished gentlemen's and ladies, of course, club? Oh, you unmute. Let me your mic is unmute your mic. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, first I want to apologize for being a little late and tardy, but I had a long day today. But I'm happy that I am here. In regards to that, I know some people on the podcast right now. What's up, Waverly? How you doing, brother?
What's up, bro?
How you doing, LaDosha?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
That's good. But to answer your question, I don't think everybody can't go. The people that want to be a part of that distinguished network of barbering, the ones that are interested in being a part of that, those are the ones that will follow. Every it's just plain and simple. I mean, I've been barbering for 25 years. I've owned barbershops for the majority of that time, and every barber that I've worked with, they have not. It's been a large percentage of them that have not had that mindset. It's like you find a few diamonds in the rough. You know what I mean? You find a few roses in the concrete, and you just know it when you see them. You know it when you meet them. You say it's something special about this guy, and some of them follow suit and they gonna fall in line, and then the ones that can't, that don't, and I'm not gonna say can't, but the ones that don't want to be a part of that distinguished network, they're just not gonna be there. That's just my take on it. I mean, I work with so many barbers, and it's been guys that were very, very talented with the tools in their hands, but the other part of it, the business mindset, they just didn't have that.
So barbers are now on, in case you guys didn't know, the Distinguished League of Network, because I don't want to just say gentlemen, extraordinary, I'm sorry, Cheryl, the Extraordinary League, a network in the barber.
Gentlemen and gentlewomen.
Thank you, Cheryl. I was struggling. Y'all know from the projects, right?
Gentlemen and women. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, the Extraordinary League of Gentlemen and Gentlewomen, they have something that's for the elite. And these people on the panel are a part of that distinguished league, and they are unapologetic about it. Am I correct, YahTay? Are you unapologetic? Because Solomon and Cole and Waverly, they are unapologetic about, standards. And what's your take from a female's perspective in the industry? Do you agree with the gentlemen of the gentle women that league has to be for the elite?
I do agree with that, but I'm going to speak for myself and how I show up and how I represent not only myself, my legacy, meaning what I come from, and how I show up. And I don't have to say who I am. I exhibit who I am. I exhibit who I am, my standard, how I operate. They know that I'm for my culture by just my presence. So I don't have to shout it out. I don't have to make it known. I just operate in the spirit of excellence from which I was raised in, and what I'm also becoming familiar with in terms of the history as a whole. So it makes me stand up. It makes me, hold my shoulders back, and I'm proud of it. I'm very much proud of it.
All right. I think the unapologetic energy. Now, I ain't gonna tell no lie, y'all. When I go into the barbershops, I don't necessarily see this, and I'm glad to know that you guys are putting it out there that this culture definitely exists, and you guys are not gatekeeping, but you guys are saying that you definitely have to do the part. So as we wrap it up, I want you guys to kind of we're going to go one by one, starting with you, Cheryl, in the spirit of Dr. Willie Morrow, to ensure that barbers do not remain unsung heroes. We do have this current administration. They are targeting African Americans. Let's not. Cole just said, don't you stop, be sucker free. Okay, I hear you, Cole. I'm going to go ahead on, Cole. I'm going to try to do it, Cole. They going after us, y'all, and they don't care again about
I'm going to go last. I'm going to tie it up.
Okay,
I just got
right.
this little
Okay. Okay, go ahead. All right. And we're going to, address this excellence that you guys are saying that is the norm. So with that being said, I'm going to start with you, Debrina, and we're going to work our way back around to Cheryl being last. So excellence obviously is the norm for being a barber. So can you just speak to why that is the norm? Because we started off with some people think that being excellent was gatekeeping because you have to know your history. And we brought it in full circle that this is not an anomaly. This is the norm for African-American barbers to be excellent. So if you could share with us your as we wrap it up, your point and why excellence is the norm for African-American barbers.
Well, I had some very excellent mentors in my life. Dr. Willie Morrow being one of his products. And what can I say? I had to be excellent. I have to show up and show up. And my take on being excellent and being an elite is to raise elite barbers, raise professional barbers that want to be, that want to show up like Dr. Morrow made me show up. Okay,
wow.
That's what I want to do. That's what I'm creating a youth camp for barbers that want to be elite barbers, that want to connect with each other, that want to create product together, not just cutting hair, not just barbering. And that's what when I hang my clippers up, because I have 3 decades in the game. When I hang my clippers up, I want somebody to say, you know what? I want to follow her legacy. And Dr. Willie Morrow was whose legacy I'm following right now.
All right, let's give it up for Debrina. That excellence is the norm. Okay, Solomon, you got to take it away as we work our way around, because Cheryl's going to close us out. Apparently, whoops, we just lost him. Perhaps he'll come back in as I'm talking. But apparently, I was not aware, because I'm, what I'm saying. Excellence is the norm in the industry for the barbers. This is a standard, and so it's not an anomaly. It's not an anomaly. as I thought it was. So to some barbers who've kind of, lowered it down with some of the things that we talked about, Solomon, speak to excellence being the norm for barbers in the industry. And she pointed out that if you are in need of a mentor, don't be afraid to reach out. I know I ain't afraid. I wasn't scared to ask. But Solomon, you take it away on excellence being the norm. In case y'all didn't know that they are not out of order. This is what they do.
Can you repeat that? You want me, because
Okay.
I got off the I didn't hear some of the things
Okay.
you were saying. I was having
Yes.
some technical difficulties.
Yes. Okay. No problem. So where we're at as we close out this 175th episode is in the spirit of Dr. Morrow. What we have definitely come to conclusion and full circle is that in the world of barbering, excellence is the norm. Basically, no bitch assness. Sorry, P. Diddy. We free P. Diddy. I'm sorry. I digress. So that is the norm. And a lot of barbers may not be aware of it, but it seems like it's something that it appeared to be gatekeeping to me. That's how we started off. But Roderick pointed out that no, that we're not gatekeeping. This is what barbers do. We are excellent people. So can you speak to that in your profession?
Well, in order to keep that going, as a shop owner, I think that for me and for all of us, I think that we have to just be careful who we put in those rooms, because there was a time in my career as a shop owner, I just really focused on, this was years ago, I focused on just filling the chairs. Today, that is not my mission. And that is a part of striving for the excellence, striving to be excellent, because you got to be careful about who you're putting in these rooms, because sometimes when you're just going for a buck, you could put some bad apples in a room full of good ones, and then one bad apple spoil the rest, and then now the room is off balance. So yeah, I agree with that. And one way to go about doing it is just making sure you're conscious of who you are, who we are placing in the rooms for barbering. Sometimes it's not such a bad thing to have a few empty chairs and you're just waiting. It's all about perfect timing. You're just waiting to get the right pieces to the puzzle to fit in there so everything will flow like a fine oil machine.
Even during these hard times, you're
Even during
saying
the hard
it's
times.
worth it. Barbers, can you not?
Absolutely. Even during the hard
Okay.
times. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Barbers, are you guys unanimously agreeing with Solomon that you're going to have to sacrifice that chair? It may have to be empty to have. Okay.
Yep.
Well, you guys really do, because I would have thought. Okay. All right. It's not about the bag. Okay. YahTay, what's your take on excellence? And Solomon said, y'all, sometimes them chairs got to be empty. Wow. Okay.
Excellence is not just in the fade, but in the mindset, the mastery. It's in the meaning behind what we do. And elite barbers, we don't chase trends. As my mentor Tondo say, we set the standards, and it should be about standards. That's all I have.
That's okay. We don't make the trend. We don't follow the trends. We make the trends. That's I haven't reached that status, but I'm learning from I feel like the beauty industry, we need to take some classes from you, because y'all are like no nonsense. I'm a sucker. I ain't gonna lie. I called Cheryl over the weekend with a situation, and after listening to Solomon, I almost want to cry, but I ain't gonna do it. But thank you, Cheryl. And I thought Cheryl was being hard, but according to Solomon, I gotta. Okay. All right. Okay. We gotta toughen up here. Okay, Cole, your take on excellence being the norm for barbers.
It's really excellence for us barbers. It's not optional, right? It's mandatory. Okay. One of the first recorded barbers was John Hope. They named him, is AKA Caesar. He's one of the first recorded barbers. He went along to even buy some of his family members out of slavery at some point, right? He pushed the needle forward. We got Henry Miller Morgan, chose excellence as well, which he started the first black college, right? Henry Miller Morgan chose excellence. He pushed the needle forward, right? We get here with Mr. Morrow. Same thing. He chose excellence. He pushed the needle forward. We're sitting here talking about his legacy right now. I did a post that got over 1 million views about his legacy, right? On purpose too, just to educate people about that. What I'm pushing is to show that we have always been excellent, right? We have always been excellent. And if we fall from that standard, then we're going to witness some of the same things we witnessed back in the day, and we're going to repeat some of the things that happened to us back in the day. So it's important to know this history and choose to be excellent and choose to push the needle forward, because it's mandatory. This is how we survive. We are still African Americans. This is how we survive. We survive off of excellence.
Wow. You guys are getting some standing ovations. Go ahead, YahTay. I'm sorry.
I would like to add, in this time, I want to bring forth the Johnson brothers behind No Grease, the franchise, Damien and Jermaine. They're two brothers that began the franchise of No Grease. They also have a barber school in Charlotte. Yep. And many of you may not know, they are CMP. I'm not good with the stocks and all of that stuff, but they're recognized as a franchise.
Okay.
And they've been doing it this year, made 27 years, 27, 28 years, July.
I did a symposium with them, and they took around the city to all their shops. Great brothers.
Okay.
All right. Can you drop your name in the chat for us, please?
Okay, sure. Will do.
All right. So again, we're moving along as we wrap this up, with excellence being the norm for barbers, and the distinguished, extraordinary, distinguished club of gentlemen and gentle ladies. Excellence is the norm. Cheryl, as we get ready to venerate and celebrate your father's legacy in the street naming ceremony in San Diego. Waverly, did we hear from you? I'm so sorry.
Nope.
Okay, come on, back it on up. Waverly, your take on.
My take is basically a synopsis of everything that just happened in this show this evening. Excellence is the lowest of the low standard that we should all expect. Everybody on here is carrying the torch. Cheryl Morrow said earlier that success leaves hints. Everybody that ColeCutzBrand named, all the gentlemen whose shoulders that we stand on right now, they all left us hints. So to the barbers out there that's just watching, to the licensed barbers by your state, again, I'm going to say this: you need to decide if you want to cut hair or be a barber. The ones that left us hints, whose shoulders we're standing on today, those are barbers. Emulate them and you'll be all right. And lastly, I think that we all need to get behind my man ColeCutzBrand. I'm gonna personally make a video about him after this. We can revolutionize the barber industry. He got some momentum, so let's get behind that brother and push him up the hill. All of us.
I just said, I think that the hairstylist, I know for me, I could go for some of this toughness. We have it differently in our industry, but we need, and I am speaking for the entire industry, we could go for some education and training from the barbers, considering you guys were the first to do it. And with that being said, I have to show a clip from Waverly. He was awarded the grant from Beyoncé. She had this big whole, announcement that you could write a grant that she would support. So let me just play it, because this is an example of excellence being the norm.
Congratulations. Yo, it's America's favorite barber, Big Wave, the boss, with a quick update about the grant that Miss Beyoncé, Cecred, and the Be Good Foundation gave us. Now, initially, first, I thought they were just going to give us the money and keep it moving. But no, man, they are really supporting us entrepreneurs with some very unique classes. I'm talking about some heavy stuff from the National Minority Supplier Development Council. We're taking classes like strategic planning, negotiation negotiating corporate contracts. And my personal favorite is understanding your brand. Mr. Darrell Johnson, you dropped some gems in that class. I think it's really special that this was thought of specifically for people in the hair profession, because I know that Beyonce's mom, Miss Tina, knows she was a stylist. So she understands how hard it is to be a hair professional. So I just want to say thank you.
Congratulations.
That is powerful. Can we all drop some hand clap emojis in the chat for Waverly, because that was no small feat to write that grant. I'm sure it wasn't. So hold on, let me just give you your little hand claps there. I'm sorry. And just right quick, can you speak to the excellent mindset it took to actually apply for that? Because somebody probably felt like, I'm not going to get picked. When I could get awarded a grant, y'all act like I hit, so can you speak to that? The courage to apply, and even when you think it's not going to happen, just right quick, and then we're going to take it.
I'll say it within 30 seconds. Well, first of all, I want to say that's like my 5th time applying for that grant. Number one, I want to say that. And I was one of 37 out of millions of applicants, but I also know that what I do at my barbershop with the health screens is very unique. And so that was my fuel to keep going. I mean, if you keep throwing your rod in the water, you go catch a fish. I just caught a big one.
Yes, you did. A big one. And Beyonce, you don't know us, you and Miss Knowles, but we thank you very much for what you have done and brought to our industry. I mean, you have really elevated us. So from the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel, we definitely thank your foundation, and we appreciate what you have done. So Waverly, congratulations again. Okay. All right, sure. You're going to close us out on, excellence being the norm. And by the way, I am putting everybody's IG, in the chat. And I do want, as once Cheryl gets finished, if you could just say one thing that you would tell your younger self, and we'll wrap it up. Cheryl, you too. Okay. All right, Cheryl, close us out. We're going to come back through. This is what I would say to my younger self. Go, Cheryl. Starting off with excellence being the norm.
I know we say that, but I don't think we really understand, because excellent and normal seems to be an oxymoron. It really does, actually. But once you think about it, and this is something me and you talk about all the time, unfortunately for Black people, we do have a level that is different. But if you really understand what we mean by excellence being the norm, then that means that everyone on this channel, everyone who's not on the channel, who's just listening, and this goes for Beyonce and Tina, we only did what we were supposed to do, if you really think about it. And we've really got to, and because heirs are expected to do what they're supposed to do. What the business of legacy and the things that I have to deal with taking care of my father's business. And that's what I'm supposed to do. It gave me the most incredible childhood in life that it was fairy tale, literally. And this is not what we do every day is expected of us to do. And I think the excellent part of that normalcy is doing what we don't have to do. And that's that little special quirk that only belongs to us. Whatever that is called, whatever that is, Willis and YahTay and Debrina and in Solomon, whatever that is, and LaDosha, you know what it is. You know what that little thing in the back of your mind says, fucking go for it. It's weird. It's never been done. That's what's not expected of you. And that is what Mr. Morrow would wake me up and come in there with the littlest, weirdest freaking thing. And I'm like, Dad, what the fuck is that? And he would say, it's a hugger. And I'm like, what do we need with huggers? We need huggers because the pen gets hot. And that happened every day in my, just about all the time in my childhood. Those are the things, but to take care of his people, to hire his people, to know that the number one choice of entrepreneurship is in the beauty sector. And for us to open up the longest job creator businesses in urban areas, which are barbershops and hairstylists, brother, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to, at the end, when a brother's down or a sister's down on their luck, you tell them to come here. What you gonna do, you're gonna get in here and blase, and you're gonna do this and you do what I tell you, you're gonna be able to pay your bills and you're gonna be able to thrive. The point of the matter is that our normalcy level, of course, is expanded by 10 times over any Mac. We know our level is just so above to the point where we have no choice but to excel, and that's so beyond the norm. But I will say, and then let me just go on, if I would have told myself, I would have, there's a couple of things that I probably would have listened to my dad more.
Okay. All right. Right. Okay, Roderick, what would you have said to your younger self? What would you like to say to your younger self?
I went through a lot as a child, right? And I mean a lot, from my mother being on drugs, my father not being there, growing up in the projects, all of that, right? I would tell myself, all of that pain will turn into purpose one day, because it have helped a lot of my clients, and also it helped me on my mission of personally developing a lot of the Black barbers and the community. I would tell myself that all of that will turn into purpose, and at some point that will be the most valuable thing about you, even though it hurts right now and it feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. This will help a lot of people one day, and it would turn into purpose and passion work. So that's what I would tell myself.
Okay, thank you. Waverly, what would you tell your younger self?
I would tell my younger self, stop putting a Band-Aid over the pain. Face it and be the leader that you are inside.
That's powerful. Okay. Debrina, as a barber, you're an adult barber now, but what would you say to that younger barber?
Be persistent and consistent in what you do, no matter what it looks like. It brings you to an elite status.
All right. YahTay, what would you say to that young barber? I know you said you're just getting started, but you got a little years now. What would you say to that younger barber, YahTay, the barber stylist?
I'm dealing with this even now as an adult. I've always been taught to operate in a spirit of excellence in everything that I do. My voice. I haven't been using my voice. So I'm finding my space, whether it be from confrontation based on how I grew up, I want to avoid confrontation, or speaking truth and being concerned about the impact of it, how it affects others. Using my voice. I have a voice. I have a lot to say, and not just saying just to be talking. So that's where I am, is using my voice to speak, to communicate, to teach, to share. Teach, share, give. Teach what you know, share what you have, and give what you can. So mine is about the mic. And I'm actually reading a book by T.D. Jakes on it. So
all right. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Use your voice.
Using
I would
my
tell my
voice.
younger self to trust the process. That's what I would say. I have learned to trust the process. Okay. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. I think we definitely are making Dr. Willie Morrow proud. I do think we all can learn something from the barbers. You are all are definitely our heroes. And I will be the first to admit I was totally unaware of all of the stuff that you all have shared with us about what's taking place. And when I was saying barbershop talk, I ain't gonna lie, I had something else, in mind. But Cheryl and I was determined to bring it in full circle, and we appreciate you all for showing the excellent side of barbers. That, like Cheryl said, that's just what we do. Okay, maybe the norm isn't the perfect word, but we thank you all. Please make sure you follow everybody on the social media, on their perspective social media platforms. And I'm with Waverly. I'm all for getting behind the ColeCutzBrand to help raise the acumen. And don't forget, Thursday we're going to be back live, right, Cheryl?
Yes, ma'am. And repeat after me. I just want you guys to say here, because they're not here. Because they're not here.
Okay.
Chuck Berry, barber.
Wow, Chuck Berry was a barber. Okay,
Chuck Berry,
okay, Chuck Berry. Okay.
Here. Did not know that.
One is still here. I'm sure he's still here, but he doesn't get a lot of recognition. George Clinton.
Right.
George Clinton.
Right?
Here.
Wow. Here.
And then of course, and this is the one, Roger Simon. Roger Simon. And please look him up. He's probably the baddest of the baddest. But I will say also, Dr. Hale. The first open heart surgery. He put himself through medical school. He was a barber.
Oh,
wow.
And that's where you come from. And so that is why I call it the League of Extraordinary. I mean, and I do mean extraordinary. Yeah. And so, yes, we will be back. And I just thought about all of the fabulous barbers. I mean, just men who can cut, this Big Daddy could cut. He could really cut, you know what I mean? And James Brown could cut. But these are just the fabulous men and women. But anyway, it just came to my mind. Sorry.
All right. No, that was good.
Can't forget about Cheryl. She just let us know she a barber.
She's a barber too. Yeah, right. Yeah, she dropped the bomb on us. All right.
And so let me say this: I was good, but the old man made me kind of, he could cut hair on a damn tennis ball. Shit.
All right. So with that being said, we are going to close out this wonderful panel of discussion. We dedicate this not only to Beyonce and her mom, but also to Pierre Toussaint. And Cheryl, just tell us right quick who Pierre Toussaint is, and we're just going to close out on that note of good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and better is best. I usually say it for the other podcasts, but tonight is very befitting. So we dedicate this in honor of Mr. Pierre Toussaint. Okay.
Pierre Toussaint is really a venerated saint. He is buried in the center of St. Patrick's Cathedral, and he is one of the most mild. He was one of the most mild-mannered. He is what we call the standard Catholic. From the Catholic Church, the Pope venerated him because the very family that owned him, he went back to save grace, and he served the champagne he bought.
Oh,
that
wow.
is Mr. Pierre Toussaint, and he has more street names after him than I think any New Yorker, any Italian, any Russian, any Jewish person. I think he has about 3 streets, but what an absolutely saint of a man. And he's buried right there in the center of in the catacombs, I think. He is in the catacombs in Italy, but he's also his body is buried in the center of St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan.
So barbers, whenever you go to New York City, make sure you visit every barber in America, especially in Cleveland. We want to see some selfies with barbers going to St. Patrick's Cathedral, where the most venerated barber in the world.
He was a hairstylist. He was a barber stylist.
A barber style. There you go, YahTay. There he is, Mr. Pierre Toussaint. Okay, so let's make sure we go and check him out.
And he was
so
Haitian.
This show. All right, and he was Haitian. All right. So thank you guys so very much. Make sure you follow all of these wonderful barbers. I don't know about getting an appointment. That's a whole, y'all gonna have to slide to them DMs for some appointments. So that's a whole other podcast. But we thank you all very much. Waverly, congratulations again. Ms. Sabrina, thank you so much. YahTay, Roderick, I will definitely be in touch with you.
Thank you, Roderick. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I appreciate y'all for having me, man. I really do.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, y'all. Y'all know what we say when we signing out.
Everyone.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
Hair grease.
You know. All right, y'all have a wonderful night. This truly was a mighty, mighty powerful podcast. And Cheryl, I can't wait to see you next week. Everybody else in the chat, we love y'all so very much. Yeah, I'm sorry. This week. I'm sorry. It's too much. All right. Okay. Y'all have a good night. We love y'all. Thank you so much, WK and Sandra. We love you. Everybody on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. We love all of y'all. YouTube.
You always call me.
All right. And I'll see you, Sabrina, on Wednesday. Okay. YahTay, I love you so much. Thank you.
Love y'all. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Good night.
Sure, you ready for the chit chat tonight?
I'm ready.
Bam, bam, bam. He or she said, cancel this damn show. They hate it. What? Hold on. Wait a minute.
Make black hair great again.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now,
We're coming. Get our check.
Cheryl Morrow, the one, the only, the hair oracle.
I think it was Red Dot, and then we also had a cosmetology school instructor in the chat, Miss Denise West, Michelle Allen, Miss Foster. Dang, I missed your birthday. It's always nice to see Miss Foster in the chat. Michelle Allen, you know how much we love you too.
What? About a whole lot of peace. Cheryl, you order that in a bag of chips.